Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you.
What's up, baby? Day 3, baby. Feature Able, baby. Gonna be fun, just like July 4th. Firework, baby.
On the first day, they came in waves, just trying to survive. Yes! On the second, they settled in and proved that they belong.
Yes! Yes!
Now it's day 3, and just look who's here.
Well, this is fun.
World champions.
Everyone forgets I wrote the book.
Big-time players.
That's the only stuff I play.
And even bigger personalities. Oh! But one man encompasses it all.
You call gonna be all over, baby.
The 1998 world champion and Prince of Poker, Scotty Wynn, has forged an amazing legacy.
I have all the trick in the book, baby. Yeah.
Now the Prince is on the verge of another deep run, and no one in the room is safe.
They in trouble now.
Day 3 of the main event starts now. I'm Lon McCarran with Norman Chad. Welcome to the World Series of Poker main event presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. It is day 3, and for the first time, the entire field is playing together at the Rio.
Still rolling.
While it remains a star-studded field full of big names, including 7 former world champions.
Day 3, here we go. Like 15 more to go.
Many new faces remain, including former chess prodigy Jeff Sauer.
And things are so friendly.
Commanding table 2 today is poker pro Jason Mercier.
The last couple of years, he's been making a lot of noise with some huge tournament scores.
Speaking of noise, that's amateur Ted Bort seated next to Jason.
Geez, I hope he's paper trained.
Nearly $9 million is on the line. It's a big day, playing for big money full of big names, and perhaps none bigger than the self-proclaimed Prince of Poker.
And what a big stage performer he is. The 98 title plus 2 other times he's made it to the final 2 tables of the main event.
To his left, David Sklansky, author of 13 books on gaming and poker theory. And also here is pro and rye poker observer Adam Schoenfeld.
Where you been, baby? I haven't seen you. You get married, have kids, or you have too much money? Or...
No woman would go out with me. I don't leave my cave.
Adam's got a nice cave, low HOA fees, and it's wired for cable.
The blinds at 500 and 1,000. Action on Sklansky on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Pocket Cam. 8-5 offsuit into the muck.
Sklansky's poker book's considered the Bible of Hold'em by many players.
4-5 offsuit for Schoenfeld, and he'll fold. Action folds to 25-year-old Chuck Danielson.
As a founder of DeucesCrack.com, he's a modern instructor. Sklansky is an ancient instructor.
You see the D next to Danielson's name indicates he's in the dealer position, and with Jack 7, he raised to 2,700. Scotty Wynn with Ace 9 offsuit.
Hi, baby.
5-time bracelet winner will come along from the big blind, and 2 players will see the flop. It is 10 tray ace. Scotty hits top pair. Danielson missed the flop. Scotty checks. Danielson. Oh, looks like he's going to try to finagle the Prince of Poker, 3,800.
He flopped air, but doesn't seem to mind.
Scotty with a check raise to 8,000.
Danielson should mind that.
They clap for you, baby.
They clap for me. Come on, Chuck, make the good fold. All right, crowd, I'll listen.
That's a foldable hand he lays down.
Which card you want to see? The bottom or the top?
The bottom one. Well, that was good.
That's right, baby.
Scotty Wynn making a statement here early on day 3. We often compare the start of the main event to Christmas morning as anticipation meets excitement. But for me, today is the day when it truly comes together. As you well know, Norman, the field is now under one roof, and the main event champion is indeed somewhere out there.
Lon, you focus on what's out there. I'll focus on what's right here. Scotty Wynn is one of the greatest characters in World Series history. Multiple bracelets? Check. Main event champion? Check. Fun-loving and friendly at the table? Okay, half a check on that one. Says baby an inconceivable amount of times in every sentence? Check, check, and check, baby.
Scotty Baby with a little more than 80,000, just below the chip average. Taking a look at some of the other notables, we see former champ Johnny Chan tearing it up with over 281,000, but right behind him a host of other top pros, including two of them his Rocky brothers and Jason Mercier. Leading everyone, though, at the moment is David Asseline of Montreal with over 387,000 chips. So from the top of the leaderboard to one pro that may be on his way out. Phil Locke all in with ace queen of diamonds against the pocket queens of Dylan Thomasy.
We're leaving already?
Phil Locke travels light, and I think he's headed to Mars from here.
Locke at risk, and here's the flop. 9, 10, 6, 2 diamonds.
Go slow for the drum. They're putting in a drum roll sequence.
Locke with a nut flush draw.
Thomas, he doesn't want a drum roll. He wants the hand to be over.
Turn card now is a diamond, and Locke hits the nut flush and will survive.
Pays to travel light.
So Thomasy doubles up Phil Locke. Locke still the short stack, just over 21,000.
And still looking for his first main event cash.
So elsewhere, another amusing pro, Jean-Robert Bolland, seems quite serious right now in a hand with Guy Thomas. Bolland just check-raised Thomas to 24,000. Aces and fours on the board.
Bolland, a former club promoter, now a poker player and self-promoter.
River card is a 7 of spades. Bolland checks again. Thomas with a tiny bet, 3,000.
Begging for a call.
Does he want to check raise again? Nope, just a call. And Thomas turns over pocket aces for quad aces.
Quad fours right now. Yeah. Quad fours. That's what I have.
Bolland, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm guessing Jean-Robert did not have quad fours.
So Thomas will stack the chips. One guy who was pretty sharp at guessing players' hands, Daniel Negreanu. He's up against 21-year-old Eric Carr.
I hope he has a note from his mother excusing him from piano lessons today.
River card is a jack. Daniel checks.
11,000.
Bets.
Be careful with that hand. You know, with that hand, you got to be real careful.
I know, it was verbal before.
No, before you said 11, you went like this. And I'm saying it's fine.
I understand.
Just letting you know you don't want to.
Actually, I think he's skipping geometry class.
So why are you betting 11 exactly? Seems like an odd bet, I think. No, I shouldn't, because you have me beat, and I'm sure of this.
All right.
Hence the fact that I'm about to throw this hand away, I think.
Daniel seems convinced he's beat.
Well, it'd be a strange bluff, wouldn't it? You're not bluffing. Never mind.
Daniel folds.
Huh? Oh, you were bluffing? Oh, my God. That was so bad.
Carr with rags.
I folded a queen. I didn't have an ace. He was bluffing. Oh, my God.
It pays to drink Slurpees.
Even if you're a pro,
Jeez.
the main event is one long walk through a minefield. Back at the Rio right now at the feature table, poker author David Sklansky is all in and on the verge of falling victim to the trip aces held by Damian Roney.
Sklansky is out of strategy here. He simply needs running hearts or his main event is over.
Sklansky knows he's a big dog, and now he's drawing dead after the king on the turn. Roney takes the pot and knocks out David Sklansky.
Sklansky, one of the best and brightest minds in the early development of Hold'em strategy.
One less pro for Schoenfeld and Scotty Wynn to worry about at this table. Meanwhile, there are plenty of pros to worry about out in the field, including some other world champs. Defending champ Joe Cata currently holding his own after turning trip eights. He's getting paid off by Chris Price, whose two aces came up short.
Cata's the champ, but the champ has not cashed at this World Series. A deep run in the main event would be very sweet for Joe Cata.
A deep run or even a payday in the main event has eluded Chris Moneymaker since he won in 03. Chris with ace-king is trying to knock out Mark Weitzman, who has pocket kings. The flop did not help Chris.
The year Scotty Wynn won it all, Mark Weitzman finished 14th.
Turn card is a 9.
Moneymaker needs an ace to knock out Weitzman.
The river card is a deuce, and Weitzman will double up through Moneymaker.
Weitzman's cashed 3 times in the main event. Moneymaker now short stacked, of course, only cashed the year he won it all.
That was my game plan all along, trying to find the last station with that.
Failing that, Chris is down to 5,200. Elsewhere, 0-2 champ Robert Varconi mixing it up with bracelet winner Vanessa Selps, both of whom began this day with over 200,000 chips.
By the way, Cata, Moneymaker, Varconi, not just champions, also nice guys.
After the 5 on the turn, Robert bets 7,000. Vanessa, who has been known to be aggressive at a poker table, raises to 34,000.
She muscles up on the 0-2 champ.
And that will force a fold from Robert.
Vanessa Selps has a lot of chips and a lot of game.
Vanessa's bracelet came 2 years ago in Pot Limit Omaha. To two-time main event champ Johnny Chan in a big pot with Sam Bernstein. Chan just bet $50,000 on the river.
It's a sizable pot, Lon. If Chan takes this one down, I believe he becomes chip leader.
Bernstein with a big decision makes the call. Time for a showdown. Johnny shows sevens full. Bernstein mucks and Chan takes the pot.
Woo! And the chip lead.
That's a big pot.
Johnny Chan with the chip lead at the main event. Start spreading the news.
Chan with almost 500,000 chips. A Hall of Famer at the top of the leaderboard. That will add a little excitement to the main event. Back over to table 2 and a man who knows what it's like atop a leaderboard, Jason Mercier. He's seated next to Ted Bort, who made a lot of noise in that controversial Prahlad Friedman hand with his barking.
You were one of the barkers?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Well, there's two meanings of it. Okay, I was a street fighter way back in Chicago, and when I barked, I was really pounding on you.
Okay.
The second phase was just more of an intimidation of a celebration.
We could do without the second phase.
First to act in this hand, Jason Mercier with pocket 8s.
Mercier cut his teeth online, routinely playing 12 tables at once.
And from under the gun, or UTG, he raises to 2,800. Bort with queen 8.
Bort, 46 years old, so he's almost 7 in dog years.
All right, action folds around to Bill Melvin in the small blind, ace-jack of spades.
A software engineer who's won the Alabama State Chess Championship a record 7 times.
He calls and will go heads up against top pro Mercier. The flop is 6-5-7. Mercier's pocket 8s are good. He picked up an up and down straight draw. Melvin with the nut flush draw. He bets 4,000.
Melvin leads out. Mercier might pop it here.
Just a call.
Mercier is so mellow at the table.
Turn card 9 of spades. Melvin hits his nut flush, and that also gave Mercier a straight. Melvin comes out with 10,000 this time.
If I'm Jason Mercier, I certainly might think my 9-high straight is good. He still could pop it here.
Nope, drawing dead. He just makes the call. River card now. Queen of diamonds. What will Melvin do now?
Well, since the board didn't pair, Melvin knows his ace flush is good.
And he knows to bet it, 20,000.
Mercier getting almost 3-1 on his money to call here. And you know, I still think Jason might raise it up.
Mercier with a befuddled look, just with the call. Melvin with the pot.
Mercier smarter than me, Lon. There's a news flash. I would have lost more.
Melvin bet the whole way. Jason paid him off in that 76,000 chip pot. Jason began the day with almost 200,000 chips, but takes a hit. Poker, as in life, is an up and down game, and Jason knows that better than most.
In April of 2008, I won a seat to go to San Remo in Italy. I ended up going and winning the whole thing. When I won, I was pretty ecstatic. You know, $1.3 million is more money than I ever thought that I would be able to win. But nothing's really ever compared to that feeling when it comes to poker. After I won, we decided to go to a club. When we were at the club celebrating and having a good time, some locals tried to pick a fight with us, and it ended up turning into a big brawl. The bouncers threw us out, and those guys were out there waiting for us. Unfortunately, myself and 2 of my friends got stabbed. I got a beer bottle basically stuck in my back and got 60 stitches and was in the hospital for 2 days. I was extremely lucky because if it had been a few inches one way or the other, it could have hit a major artery and then I could have bled to death. It was a pretty traumatic experience going from pretty much the highest point in my life to worrying about whether or not I was going to die. I'll always have that memory, and there's not really a week that goes by where I don't think about what happened on that trip.
Since that near tragedy, Jason has been back to Europe, including San Remo, with great success, plus he won his first bracelet last year.
What a year he has had. Back to the featured table where Scotty Wynn is residing on this night.
I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many times, like in a tournament, do people say to you, if you call, it's going to be all over, baby?
You know, I only hear that for a couple of times. But
Really?
Yes. Wow. But if you push me on, and then I go, if I call you, it's gonna be all over, baby.
So you do it that way. All right.
I'm gonna do different way.
All right. I like it.
That's right, baby.
Of course, Scotty said if you call, it's going to be all over, baby, to Kevin McBride on the final hand of the 98 main event.
Scotty looks down at 9-4 off. He calls, it might be all over. He lays it down.
Check swing there, baby.
To Damian Roney, the 27-year-old French poker pro, 4 tray of diamonds. And from the hijack position, a raise to 2,300. Adam Schoenfeld now. Ace queen of diamonds.
It should be pointed out that Adam has made it to day 2 of the main event 9 consecutive times now. I don't think that's a record, but it's certainly a Schoenfeld family mark.
Adam called from the cutoff over to Nikki Evans, ace queen of hearts. He's from London, now lives in Toronto, and he makes the call from the big blind.
2 ace queens and a 4 tray. I like the 4 tray.
And I know how much you hate ace queen. 3 players. The flop is 7, 10, 6, 2 hearts. Evans with the nut flush draw, and he checks.
Evans could have bet.
Check.
Roney checks.
Roney could have bet.
Adam checks.
Adam wasn't betting.
2 of diamonds on the turn. Evans misses. Schoenfeld with a nut flush draw.
Everybody with the draw, nobody with a pair.
42.
Evans bets 4,200. Roney with his inferior diamond flush draw makes the call. Adam makes the call.
Roney was getting 3-1 on a call, and then Adam was getting 4-1.
Jack of spades helps no one. Evans and Schoenfeld with their ace queens have the check mark.
3 men who had big dreams, left abandoned on the side of a country road to nowhere.
Evans checks, as does Roney. Adam now. He's thinking about stealing this one, 9,000.
Adam decides to show a little initiative. He's picked a good spot.
He has Evans stopped in his tracks. Evans has chips, but he lays it down. Roney folds as well. So Adam will win that pot.
Adam, you know, I love you, buddy, but if you don't start talking a little bit, I'm going to call Penn and let him know there's a new teller.
A good decision to bet the river.
Cheer up, Adam. You look so sad, man.
This is work. Work time.
This is the job we do because we love it.
Adam would love it more if he had a few extra chip stacks to work with, but he's got plenty of fight left. It was a weight loss bet of epic proportions. Mike Matusow gave Ted Forrest less than 2.5 months to lose over 45 pounds.
It's impossible. It'll be the easiest $2 million I'll ever make in my life.
When the big day finally arrived, an emaciated Ted Forrest stepped into the Rio and onto a scale. When he stepped off, he was $2 million richer. Now Mike will have to put his money where his mouth is.
Mike won't answer his phone.
Mike won't answer his phone because he's pawned it to make the first payment. The mouth is promising to pay off Ted in $5,000 to $10,000 monthly installments.
There's former world champ Dan Harrington surviving his all-in.
Dan spent the mid-1980s playing at the Mayfair Club in Manhattan with guys like Eric Seidel.
Eric on the right has put himself at risk, hoping his pocket nines can keep him around. He was called by Raymond Rami with King 7 of diamonds. The flop is 5, Queen 5. Seidel's pocket nines hold up.
Seidel second in the 88 main event. Rami third in the 07 main event.
Seidel's still good after the 6 on the turn.
And Seidel needs to dodge a king to stick around.
It is a deuce, and Seidel will survive and double up to 13,000 through Raymond Rami.
Seidel also finished 4th in the 99 main event.
Let's go from a mild-mannered New Yorker to a less reserved New Yorker.
Did you hear what I said? I'm going to ask you nicely. Let me have one.
Brooklyn-born Steve Buckner bending the ear of Charles Alexander Silvestri.
Buckner started playing Hold'em in 2005 in Where Else? A Cigar Shop.
Buckner sounds like he's had a tough time beating Silvestri. Buckner bet 35,000. Silvestri folds, and Buckner shows a bluff.
Chip it. Now I owe you one, cuz. All right? I'm asking, is it fair? I owe you one.
When a guy from Brooklyn with a cigar asks you, is it fair? The answer is always yes.
And we said you and I were not going to battle, right? Until later.
He makes an appointment with Silvestri for later.
In the event of a nuclear blast, Lon, I believe that cigar would survive.
Back to the feature table, and another New Yorker, Adam Schoenfeld from Queens, who's in the company of others from his neck of the woods.
So you're a New Yorker as well?
Yeah.
Salt man. You're from New York?
Yeah, me too. You from New York? 1, 2, 3, 4.
As a rule, I will not play with more than one New Yorker at a time.
Well, they won't play with you either. On the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Pocket Cam, Ron Gandolfo from Lindenhurst, New York, ace queen of spades.
You get a couple of New Yorkers together, it's Yankees this, Yankees that. How about those Jets? How about those Giants? Blah, blah, blah.
Gandolfo raised to 2,800 from under the gun. Ace king for Scotty Wynn.
I like playing with people from Vietnam. They don't talk about A-Rod and Jeter and Mickey Mantle.
From UTG +1, Scotty makes it 7,000.
Plus, New Yorkers are so neurotic. Have you ever spent 5 minutes with Adam Schoenfeld?
Adam will lay that hand down. So the Rays now back to Gandolfo with ace queen. He 4-bets it to 20,000.
Did I mention New Yorkers are pushy?
You did.
Huh?
Damn, baby.
Gandolfo looks like a nice guy, but New York is New York.
Scotty with ace king.
All right, baby. Just for you, all right, baby?
Lays it down.
And shows it. He sends a message, you better have a hand against me.
Gandolfo will not show.
Scotty, you shouldn't show like that, because I'm the only one who knows how you play. So now you're evening it out.
Where are you from?
Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island.
If I watch TV, you bluff me that hand, I will drag you down.
Track me down. All right.
Whether the New Yorker was bluffing or not, when Scotty sees that, Gandolfo might want to change his address.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Main event.
Welcome back. Looking at our tournament ticker brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net. Of the 19 former champs who entered this main event, 6 are still alive. Johnny Chan is the chip leader, but Chris Moneymaker's in trouble at his table. He was all in pre-flop with 10-5 of spades. The flop was all fours.
Chris behind with 2 live cards.
I still gotta get lucky.
Victorino Torres with king-high leads right now, trying to knock out the former world champ. Turn card is a 6.
Chris needs a 10, 5, or 6 to stay alive.
It's a 9 on the river. Chris Moneymaker has been eliminated.
You're lucky, man. But I wanted to be the one to pick him up.
You don't want to kick out the guy who brought you in. Chris Moneymaker responsible for so many people in this room.
Yep, you can see the impact of his victory all over the Rio. To table 2 once again, where Jason Mercier is a spectator right now, as tablemate Ted Bort with Jack 9 off called a raise from Bill Melvin and his pocket nines. They're going to the flop. And the flop is 4 Trey Jack. Bort with a pair of jacks, crushing the pocket nines of Melvin, who bets 5,000.
Or raise him.
He's going to raise him, Lon.
How much?
I don't know that.
Bort puts together 12,000.
12,000, Lon.
I call.
Melvin calls. They'll see a turn card. King of diamonds. Bort still best. Melvin in deep trouble. Melvin checks this time.
Bort in an even more commanding position than he knows.
12,000 again. Melvin get the message? Yep, he does, and lays it down.
We got to hear it. We finally got to hear it.
Is that annoying?
Yes, very annoying.
He does that.
Who let the dogs out, baby?
You know, if a dog barked this much at the Westminster Dog Show, they would toss him.
Scotty can be more bark than bite. We saw him fold his ace-king to a 4-bet. So far, his pre-flop aggression is a tad below the table average. Action on Adam Schoenfeld. Ace-7 of clubs.
Schoenfeld went to Cornell University. You know, admissions departments do make mistakes.
A raise to 3,000.
Yeah, if he's an Ivy Leaguer, I'm a Rockette.
You do have nice legs. Folded to Scotty Wynn with ace-6 of diamonds.
Good for you.
18 more, right, baby?
Scotty started saying baby in the late 1990s because he couldn't pronounce a lot of the other players' names, so he just began calling everybody baby.
He'll go heads up with Adam Schoenfeld. The flop is trade deuce-deuce. That missed both. Adam ahead with the stronger ace. Scotty checks.
Schoenfeld with position is going to use it.
And he'll bet 4,000. Back to Scotty now.
All right, baby, you got it.
And he'll lay it down.
Adam bluffs with the best hand and escapes with another pot.
Someone almost cheered for you, then they realized that Scotty lost, so they stopped.
I would cheer for Scotty against me also. He's the prince of poker. I'm just the guy.
I know where he lives.
Scotty lost that pot, but he is up so far here on day 3. Let's get back to table 2, where apparently Ted Bort's barking has gotten the attention of tournament officials.
Disruptive behavior?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't be yelling at the top of your lungs in the middle of a poker tournament.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. I was over in the far blue section yelling. You can't do it. It's disruptive behavior. So right now I'm going to give you a warning. If that happens again, we will give you a penalty, okay?
Really?
Yeah, he's getting a yellow card, and I agree.
There you go, man. Let's go.
Honest emotions are fine, but if you're going to be rin-tin-tin, you should be in a kennel.
So the dog barker now a bit sheepish as he returns to action at table 2.
Clearly, they want the game to be boring, where we all stare at each other and don't say anything. And
hey, I love true emotion. I love bursts of excitement, but these premeditated celebrations, frankly, are for the dogs.
Out in the field, the man Bort shared some controversy with on day 2 continues his extended stay here at the main event. Prahlad Friedman in a hand right now. He's ahead with aces up after the turn. Friedman getting short on chips, bets 13,000 in the hand with Luis Nargentino, often mistaken for Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. He has a straight flush draw and a pair of 9s.
The Barker called the clock on Prahlad on day 2. You may recall Prahlad was beat. It appeared Prahlad called before the clock hit 0, but Prahlad's hand was ruled dead. Otherwise, he would be gone.
Nargentino just hit a flush on the river, and Prahlad moves all in. And a quick call from Nargentino means Prahlad Friedman is done.
That's it. Prahlad pushed with top 2, can't blame him, but felled by running hearts. And a day late, Prahlad is done in.
He is stunned, and the news finally sinks in on the bracelet winner.
Wow. Had you on ace queen.
An exit some thought was overdue. Prahlad Friedman is now out of the 2010 main event.
I got 1 sit open, 290.
It's always fireworks when the entire field comes together, and for many, that means getting burned.
I gave all the chips to you.
A day 3 field of over 2,500 is now below 2,000. And we may be adding one more to the exit list. Short-stacked Eric Seidel all in with Jack Trey against the ace-8 of Derek Young.
Seidel needs a jack or a tray to stick around.
The river card is a 6, and that will do it.
All right, good luck.
The 8-time bracelet winner is gone. Eric grinded as long as he could, but it was not to be. At another table, rock and roll star Sully Erna with pocket queens up against the pocket kings of Petter Northug, a 2-time Olympic gold medal cross-country skier. He's Michael Jordan Big in Norway.
He loves coming here because, unlike at home, nobody recognizes him.
And he just re-raised Sully all in.
Okay, I call.
Sully makes the call for 41,005. And he'll be at risk and way behind. Sully Erna looking for something here, and now the flop. Jack, deuce, 9, nothing there for Sully Erna. Nortug's king still dominating. Turn card, another 9, no help to Erna.
Erna cashed in the 06 and 07 main events. He needs a queen, or he's not cashing this year.
The river card is a 7, and that will do it. Nortug wins the hand, knocks out Sully Erna. Petter can do it on the snow. He can do it on the felt as well.
Someone lied to me. They said 2010 was going to be my year.
Hey, Sully, they've been lying to me since 1968.
So long, Sully. Meanwhile, Stephen Buckner and Charles Alexander Silvestri are at it again. Both check the flop. 13,000 in the pot. Turn card is an 8 of spades. Buckner reaching for chips. 9,200. Silvestri calls.
I don't believe that cigar should be allowed across state lines.
A queen on the river. Buckner checked. Silvestri reaching for some of his massive chip stack. And he bets out 18,000.
That is one imposing stogie.
And a call from Buckner.
The first.
Buckner shows a pair of 6s. And that's good.
One time, cuz. Good call, huh? Good call, cuz?
Actually, Buckner's nickname is Cuz.
Cuz, keep coming for me.
Because he calls everyone else
Keep coming
Cuz.
for me, because we're going to get in a big one.
Buckner with a little lip and a challenge to Silvestri. It's all part of a street tough persona that is truly the real deal.
I was a bad kid. I tell the truth. I wasn't a good kid. I was a mover and a shake, and I did whatever I had to do to survive. At 16, I dropped out of high school. I dealt drugs. I was making a lot of money, but I got involved in the wrong stuff. And in 1985, I was homeless, living in an alleyway. It took me from the highs to all the way to the lows. So the story was I hit my knees and I said, I can't do this no more. And that truly was the last day that I used. And April 14, 1985. Ask me nicely, I gave it. I owe you one. How you doing? That's why I'm so happy all the time. Because I enjoy life and I know what it is to be really, really down and out. So I am a man of my word. When I got clean, the meetings taught you to live in the moment and sometimes a second. So that's where I got it, to live in the here and now. I am who I am. Somebody asked me how many places it pays. I said, I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm going to play hand by hand, and before you know it, hopefully they'll end at 12 o'clock and they'll say, bag up your chips, come back Tuesday. That's all I want to hear.
Buckner is proof of willpower overcoming hardship. 3 years after being homeless, he was running the finance department of a car dealership.
All right, let's get back to the feature table. And Norman, it's time for the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand.
I've got to find another line of work.
I've heard that Vietnam is beautiful.
Beautiful.
I've heard it's
Beautiful.
I was in Thailand last year. I thought it was magnificent.
You have to go to Vietnam. Beautiful.
All right, let's get this wild card hand underway. Action on Adam Schoenfeld.
Adam Schoenfeld lived in Thailand for parts of 3 years.
He folds his queen 4.
He's a mysterious fella.
Scotty Wynn has the Jack Link's wild card hand.
Me and you, baby.
Scotty could have anything. I'll put him on 8-7 suited.
He calls from the small blind.
How much you playing, Scotty?
80.
I just asked me. I never thought I'd get to ask that. That's the reason I said that.
Steve Tulch, an amateur from Montreal in the big blind. Queen 6 off.
Battle the blinds, and both are married.
Here is the flop. Queen, deuce, 9. Tulch, we know, has top pair. Scotty. That's 1,400.
Scotty could have anything. I'll put him on a flush draw. 8-7 of diamonds.
Tulch raises to 3,100.
Come on, baby.
Tulch is saying I've got a queen and you don't. I agree with him.
It's my pot.
Tulch, by the way, is about to celebrate his 25th wedding anniversary. He's offered me marital advice in exchange for poker tips. That's a bad deal for him.
A king on the turn.
Scotty checks. He's got nothing. I bet 7,000 here and drive him away.
Tulch checks.
I offered him a poker tip.
4 of hearts. That's a third heart on the river. Scotty. Oh, again, reaching for chips. 6,000.
Oh, please. That 4 didn't help him.
Tulch now.
Mr. Diamond, Scotty.
Would have looked bad on TV, baby.
Scotty's playing pretty snug, but I think he's bluffing here. He's telling Tulch, I can beat your pair. I don't think he can beat ace high.
Are they going to cheer if you win this pot for me? Loud?
Please don't.
Call him.
They might cheer for you.
Call him. It's a busted flush draw.
I'm going to donate to you, my friend.
2 pair, baby.
2 pair is good.
Bottom 2 pair wins the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand.
You give me a free ride, baby.
I hope his marital advice is better than my poker tips. Sorry, 4 deuce.
Give the chips to Scotty.
All right, that's it. Not messing around with you anymore.
Like so many before him, Tulch realizes that a little too late. Time for Straight from the Pros, brought to you by PokerStars.net. Trusting your instincts is an important trait for a main event champion. Just ask Joe Cata, who proved it heads up at last year's final table.
At the time, Darvin Moon had about close to a 2-1 chip lead. I raised $3 million with Jack 9, and Darvin Moon called.
The flop is 10-5-9. Cata hits a pair of 9s. Moon an up and down straight draw.
Darvin Moon checked me, and rather than getting check raised, which Darvin Moon did a lot, I checked behind, and I figure I'm only going to get 2 streets of value, so I'd rather get the value on the turn and river instead of him check raising on the flop. The turn brought a 10. He checks to me. I bet about half pot, $3 million, and then he check raises all in for about $58 million.
Low in. Moves all in!
I really thought he had a draw hand where if he raised, he was committed anyway, so he'd rather just put more pressure on me by moving all in.
I call.
Cata makes the call. What a read by the young gun. The river card is a trade. Joe Cata doubles up.
Sometimes you have to go with your instincts. Worst case scenario is he has a 10, I'm drawing dead, and I take second place in the main event.
Great instincts, but the follow through on them in that spot, if you're wrong, you're gone. Truly a championship moment for Joe Cata.
Joe Cata and Uriel Korsunski just saw a 10 hit the river on a paired board. Korsunski bet $35,000. Joe lays it down.
Well, not every moment is as good as that one against Darvin Moon.
Let's get to the game.
Joe trying to coax his opponent into showing.
Raced it off right there.
To no avail. Kata trying to do what this guy did, win back-to-back world championships. Right now, Johnny Chan, the tournament chip leader, is facing an all-in from Arma Atto for almost 60,000.
Johnny would gamble if he knew he was in a race, but he fears pocket aces or kings.
His pocket jacks would go against the ace-king if he calls. Johnny does make the call and let the race begin for Atto's tournament life. And the flop 4-4 king. Atto hits his king, and he's got the better two pair.
The race is all but over. Johnny's going to need a jack.
It's an ace. Atto with aces up now.
Chan needs a jack to knock out Atto.
River card's a deuce, and Atto will double up to over 122,000 through Johnny Chan.
And that drops Johnny now to just under 500,000 chips. He is no longer in the chip lead.
Chan with the face of a man who does not take parting with his chips very lightly. Back now to the featured table where Scotty Wynn is holding court. Taking a look at his voluntary hands played, he's currently at a fairly low 20%, but that's still higher than his conservative table mates.
Are you still working at magazine? Or?
I work at Card Player.
You still?
Yeah, well, occasionally.
Everything about Adam Schoenfeld is occasionally.
Ace Jack offsuit.
Because you haven't called me come in no more. I thought you quit.
You'll be in whenever you want, Scotty. And
Adam raised it to 3,200 over to Matthew Janda in the small blind, 23-year-old poker pro from California.
I started with 85,500.
Boy, Adam, very accommodating. I'd visit his cave anytime.
98.
Raised to 9,800.
Adam, a retired investor, not sure he wants to invest that many chips here, and he studies the face of Matthew Janda. I don't think he'll find any facial hair.
He's looking very carefully at Janda.
He's got a crazy neck pulse going.
Adam folds.
I don't know if that means you're weak or strong. Not either.
Lon, I have a crazy neck pulse every time I see you.
Doesn't it have to really go nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm not sure controlling that one.
You should show me your hand, then I really would know.
Yeah, I better not do that.
And Norman, you know all those players we see wearing scarves? Now we know why. Plus, it's freezing in here half the time. At an outer table, German poker pro Sandra Nowayuk is on her feet. Michael Mizrachi with ace-jack trying to eliminate her. Nowayuk with pocket sevens. The flop is deuce tray 7. Nowayuk with a set.
The grinder can take his left hand off his right shoulder. This hand is pretty much over.
Turn card down. Is a 4. Grinder picks up a wheel draw.
Hold the phone, Lon. A 5 would knock her out.
It's a 10 on the river, and Nowayuk does double up through the grinder.
Nowayuk, the second ever woman to win an EPT title. Victoria Korn was the first.
Sandra won the German Open last year.
On his Rocky Summit.
Michael's older brother Robert stops by to get the lowdown on that hand. These two brothers played on day 2 of the main event together, but today is the first time all 4 Mizrachi brothers are playing together. Michael's twin, Eric, in a hand right now with Steve Sanders.
There is a Mizrachi everywhere the eye can see.
Sanders checked the turn. Eric bet 6,000. Sanders with a check raise at 25,000. And Mizrachi lays it down.
Ever since Steve Sanders had life-saving surgery last year, just hours after being knocked out of the main event, he's been an unstoppable life force.
There's the youngest Mizrachi, Donnie, a magician, is sitting with and watching Robert Varconi and Vanessa Selbst in a hand. Both have queen 9 and paired their queens on the flop. Kings came on a turn and river. Robert moves all in on the river.
That's a big all-in. He pushed with 55 big blinds left. With that board, I don't know how he went all in, but frankly, I don't know how she can call.
You got a hand?
Actually, he has the exact same hand you do.
You have a pair?
He's got the same pair and the same kicker that you do. Who knew?
I call.
Wow, she calls!
Call to 46.
Amazing, and they will chop the pot.
Great call.
You kidding me?
Vanessa seems a bit miffed with Robert's play.
Look, what are you doing?
I believe he's playing poker.
And Vanessa was up to the task.
It's like the worst hand I'm ever going to have. You got, like, that's like unbelievable.
How could you call that?
Listen, I'm new at this game. I'm an amateur.
Well, he's not new, but he is an amateur, but an amateur with a main event bracelet. Back to table 2, where top pro Jason Mercier has been pretty quiet so far, and Ted Bort has been effectively muzzled. He just flopped a pair of 10s, jousting with Bill Melvin, who has a pair of aces. All right, turn card now is a 7. Melvin's top pair still good. Bort with a gut shot and the pair of 10s.
Bort always looks on the edge of something.
Melvin check. Bort checks. All right, the river card is a jack, and jack's up for Bort, earns him the check mark. Melvin now bets 10,000.
That is 10,000.
I call.
And a call from Melvin.
Gone.
And Bort, nope, you're not gone. You double up.
Total 30K.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, he wants to.
You know he wants to Bort, but they'll penalize him.
It's okay.
Oh, man, hey. My second tournament. I thought I was gone. You know, I know what it took to call that. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Melvin provides the double up to Ted Bort, who is still chasing the dream on day 3. Back at the Rio, when the main event began, more than 7,300 players were entered by day 3. That number reduced to 2,557. Now a mere 1,842 remain.
I mean, excessive is yelling, screaming, going all nuts, but just throwing a couple barks out there is a good win, you know? I don't think that was that excessive.
They'll probably let you go do it in the hallway.
How about in the bathroom?
When you do it in the stall, really freak people out.
I'll tell you this much, man. That'd be a little much for me.
Oh, it sounds like Ted Bort, the former street fighter, does have some limits. Action on Jason Mercier, ace-9 offsuit.
Mercier was a substitute teacher briefly.
Oh, man, can't you just leave me alone one time?
You get no respect when you're a substitute teacher. He gets plenty of respect at the poker table.
I'm telling you what, just for that, I hope I get pocket aces on you.
Jason raised to 3,900. Ace-king for Bort.
Wow. Really?
He sounds like he has pocket aces.
Wow.
I think Jason might believe he has pocket aces. A re-raise to 13-6.
Can I see your chips, please?
Good.
Bort has a little more than 70,000 right there. Jason has him easily covered.
I'm really interested in your attention.
What are you interested in?
I'm really interested in your attention.
My intentions, or?
No, I mean yes. I'm really interested.
I don't understand what you're interested in.
That's all right, man.
I think you can be talking to Ted Bort and have absolutely no idea what the conversation is about.
Mercier needs almost 10,000 to call. But I think Bort talked him out of it.
The one card, if that was your high card, then that wasn't good.
There's two people you don't want to make mad, and you're both of them, all right? I'm not wanting to run into you, and if I go over you, I got something. If you got something over you, come over me, I was going to go all in. I was ready for that one.
Well, I'm playing pretty good, I guess.
That was a good fold.
You tell me what you have, I'll tell you what I had.
No, thank you. Right. I saw a king, that's enough.
Jason has all the info he needs from that hand. Let's get back to the featured table where the main event bracelet sits oh so close. Scotty Wynn has steadily built his chip stack today. Let's take a look at his tail of the tape, brought to you by the official WSOP game. Play now on Facebook. Scotty's not been too active today. He's played in 13 hands while not in the blinds.
But as you can see, he's won most of the hands he's played, 9 of 13. That's pretty good. And he's had more success pre-flop, where he's got a 5-1 record. Post-flop, he's 4-3.
No matter the stats, you always have to deal with Scotty's aura.
So I think, Scotty, if you bust, they probably kick us off the table. So do me a favor, keep playing well.
You get it, baby.
Here, you get the lights and, a lot of people rooting for me.
That's right, baby.
Scotty looks down at 7-5, clubs into the muck. Folded around 2, Damian Roney. Roney has ace-6 offsuit. Raised to 2,800. Adam Schoenfeld with pocket 10s. On the button, he makes the call. Lee Walling with pocket 7s in the small blind. And the amateur from New York makes the call.
He probably talks about Bucky Dent all day.
Big blind folds. 3 players will see the flop. 2 pocket pair and an ace-6. The flop is straight ace-ace. A thing of beauty for Roney now with trip aces. Walling first to act. He checks his pocket pair. Roney slow plays the aces. Adam. Makes a bet, 4,300.
You know, I would have bet 4,300 too. You know, Adam and I have that connection. I guess it's a losing connection.
Walling folds his sevens. Roney smooth calls with his trips.
Roney's sitting pretty. Adam's never sitting pretty.
It's a 7 on the turn. Roney checks again. Adam checks behind him. If Walling had stayed, he would have hit sevens full. And that full house would have come up short as Roney hits quad aces.
Boy, and Lon, I think that card's going to cost Adam Schoenfeld some chips because now he'll never put Roney on an ace in his hand.
Roney bets 14,005.
If I'm Adam, I'm thinking I'm good unless he's got pocket kings, queens, or jacks. I would call and, of course, lose.
And he does. And he does.
No good.
Show him, Adam.
Really?
Adam's thinking, what can you do?
We're smiling. It's fun. Right, Scotty? Smile all day.
That's right, baby.
Could be worse. It could be somewhere else.
You know, baby, there's like almost 5,000 players who's in your spot right now. So, you know,
Scotty speaks the truth.
He sure does. Out in the field, the guy every poker player wishes they were. Defending champ Joe Cata has all his chips in the middle with ace-queen. Bradley Lipson with pocket tens would need over 67,000 to call.
If he calls, the champ will be in a race for his main event life and behind.
Lipson does call to put Cata at risk.
And Joe Cata now hoping some 09 magic is left over.
All right, here's the flop. It is all spades. Joe picked up a lot of outs with the flush draw.
Yeah, now it's a coin flip, Lon. This could be magic in progress for the champ.
All right, the turn card, 7 of clubs. Cata down to his last card, perhaps.
Joe Cata looking for an ace, queen, or any spade, or his title defense is done.
The river card is a 6 of clubs, and that will do it. Bradley Lipson knocks out the defending champion.
World champ should be able to afford long pants, no? It is over for the youngest champ ever. Nothing to be ashamed about, though.
Bradley Lipson will remember that for quite a while. So a new champion will be crowned here at the 2010 main event, and that person is somewhere in this room as Day 3 continues at the Rio. For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarron. Stay with us as the action continues here at the World Series of Poker.